In this episode, we sit down with Dave Smith, the mindset soldier. Never has the saying, don't judge a book by its cover, been more relevant in this conversation. In this episode, we talk about Dave's stories, the highs and lows in his life, being shot at by the Taliban in Afghanistan, the adversity and trauma of his upbringing, going into care and then becoming homeless, and how he became the man that he is today. Through all the adversity and the challenges that he's faced, he's now on a mission to help as many people change their life for the better. This one inspired me a lot. I love this episode. I love this conversation. Dave is somebody that I admire a hell of a lot. This episode is not to be missed. I hope you enjoy it. Dave.
Yes, Pravat.
Thanks for joining me, mate.
No, appreciate it.
So obviously on Instagram, you're known as the mindset soldier.
Yeah.
What does mindset mean to you?
Everything. The main part of it for me is discipline. Without a disciplined mindset, you have no mindset. You're either negative or positive, happy or sad. Do you know what I mean? So discipline has been incorporated into my life in everything I do, whether it's family, friends, the food I eat, the gym I go, the water I drink. I make sure it's a pinnacle point in every day, in everything I do.
Amazing. It resonates a lot with me, that, because discipline has been something that I've instilled into my life. That's everything positive has become as a byproduct of being disciplined in day to day within, the gym, food, relationships.
Yeah.
Has life always been like that for you?
But disciplined or?
Yeah.
Not at all, mate. The last 30, so I'm 30, I'm trying to think of my age. 35 now. So I say the last 33 years have been very chaotic, self-sabotage, using things to fill voids, women, drugs, alcohol, fighting, put myself into situations where my life's amazing and then I completely fuck it up, mainly because I'm going back to the traumas of my childhood and not having that stable upbringing, abuse and stuff. And it's just, when is that ever going to fucking stop? Like, this year has been insane for me. I haven't told anyone this, but this is the first year in probably 15 years I've not thought about killing myself. Insane, bro. I had a conversation with my mate Charlie, went to the spa. I was like, bro, I ain't thought about killing myself this year, bro. Fucking insane. Mad. That was just a repeated thing for me. 2-3 times a year, I'd think about something, write a note. Do you know what I mean? Even when I was in the highest part, earning so much money, had a great family, just writing notes or writing something about killing myself just because this means nothing to me. But now I've got something to live for in different ways.
Wow. Just a quick one before we get back to the episode. We're trying to hit 5,000 subscribers before the end of the year. So if you love this podcast and you love what we're doing, then a quick and easy way to support it would be to hit the subscribe button. Thanks very much. Now let's get back to the episode. What is it that's happened this year that has been so special in order for you to not feel that way? So
straight on my t-shirt, bro. Jesus is king, bro. Honestly, he came into my life. I found him at the start of the year, dropped to my knees, prayed. One of my favorite verses from the Bible, John chapter 14, verse 6 is, I'm the way, the truth, the life. No one goes to the Father except through me. That just changed my life. Everything I put into my life now, the way is Jesus, the truth is Jesus. Everything about it is just, the commandments, everything has just helped me. And I've been so peaceful, so happy. You know how many people have fucked me over mentally, physically, emotionally and financially? Just let it to Jesus, let it to God. It's so much more peaceful.
How was it that you found Jesus at the beginning of the year? What was the process in?
A lot of separation, I think, bro. Separation from my family. I openly speak about I cheated on my ex over 2 years ago now. I was supposed to get married, 2 beautiful kids, completely fucked my life up because I was seeking that validation from women, which I shouldn't do, which is one of the hardest things for men is lust. I don't care what man you think you are or say you are, lust is fucking hard as a man. Because we always want this and it with gratification, looking on social media, this and that, and it portrays and it changes your image, what a relationship should look like, a woman should look like, your discipline as a man should look like. So no matter how good you are, if you're not disciplined in your lust, I truly don't think you're pinnacle as a male figure, because it's so hard to, how many times do you fall short of that? Looking at a woman thinking a certain way, and it's that. I try and do this on a daily basis where I don't look, stop, look. Because you're contradicting it, them evil thoughts, and you're setting discipline. I thought I was disciplined until I seek Jesus, personally.
Wow. Incredible, man. Incredible. What has been the process over the last 33 years? You said you found Jesus at the beginning of this year, but I know we've obviously spoke previously last year, and you was on a journey then.
Yeah.
But I know there's been so much because I've seen it on your social media. You're obviously very open and honest about things in order to help people. But take me back to the beginning.
No. Oh, if you have to, bro. So
take me back to the beginning, where your earliest. I know this because I know that the things that you spoke about, and I just know that you've got such a powerful story to tell, and I know that my audience especially, it would help them, and more so just on the basis of how to overcome adversity. And you said about mindset, and that's something that you preach on a daily basis, but I think people just really need to understand what that journey has been for you, and how you've overcome it.
Yeah, I agreed to this podcast with you only because I've turned so many away in the last couple of years, because I don't think people who do podcasts put something of self-care after. I know you're a genuine person because I've followed you for years, and we're meeting up and we're doing things together. Because when I talk about my story, it's so fucking traumatic.
Yeah.
I can bring things up, it gets triggered. I can sit in my car for an hour. I'll walk away absolutely fine, smile, I'll sit on the motorway and just cry for an hour. People don't put that in perspective when I'm telling my story, like all the emotions that are connected with it. Do you know what I mean? So I'll tell you about obviously the start of my story.
Can I just stop? Sorry, and I really appreciate that, by the way. I really do, because I know how much you've been through, and I know that I can imagine how difficult it is to talk about. But and I know that why it resonates with me doing this podcast is because this is what the podcast is all about. Like for me, Tom's Talks is initially it was me standing up in front of an audience, telling people the loss of my brother, my own struggles with mental health, but how I overcame it, the adversity that I overcame, the challenges that I'd faced, but again, how I overcame it. But I'm just one person with one story. The podcast was created because I know there's millions of people out there that have all had their stuff to deal with and the trauma and everything, but I've got a story to tell, and by sharing that story of how to overcome adversity, will again help millions of other people. And that's why I wanted to bring you on, because I know you've been through it. You've gone to the lowest of the low, but now you've come through the other side, especially this year. You know, you've achieved some amazing things, not just financially, but I know you've become the best version of yourself. And I know that the story that you've got to tell will help millions of people.
Hopefully, bro.
And I appreciate the fact that you've come on as a guest for myself, but again, I know for my audience. So yeah, thank you.
No, I appreciate it, bro. So let's get into it. So firstly, my mum was absolutely amazing. I'll put that out there. She's Italian. She suffered with her own mental health conditions and stuff. She was an orphan. She was brought up in a Catholic environment. The people that adopted her were Catholic. And my mum was a bit of a floozy, should we say. She's Italian. She got 6 kids by 5 different men. So she had a good going, bro. But she had such an amazing heart. But until you go through your own struggles, I realise now the pain she must have went through, going through relationship, because she never had a father figure, she never had anyone there. I know what that feels like because my dad wasn't there. So looking back on that, like when I was about 3-4 years old, the first scene I can really remember when I was a kid, I think it was about 3-4 years old, is my stepdad dragging my mum upstairs and battering her. That's my first image as a kid. My mum took me and my little sister away from my stepdad at the time. And within about a year or 2, that's when social services started to get involved. There was a lot of neglect, work turning up to school like dirty, stuff like that. And there was a lot of violence in the house. There was random men coming to the house they were drunk, alcohol, drugs. I was freaking out. When was it? In Spon End. I did a little mini documentary on it. It was the where I went into care. And that was the first time I was abused. It was where I was pinned in a corner in one of these rooms, and a guy put a blowtorch, bro, back in the day, to try and get my mum's purse because he was trying to score drugs. Do you know what I mean? At that age, at like 4 or 5 years old, I was coming back from school and getting threatened with a blowtorch to blow my face off if he didn't get my mum's purse. And then going through that, and then within about a couple of weeks after that, social services came involved again, took me and my sister into care, 2 black bags. They literally said to me, just like, oh, your mum's not well at the minute, she's at the hospital. We're going to go and see her. Then I went to Wood End in Coventry, and that's where, just little bin bags, and that's the last time I saw my mum for quite a long time. Went into the care system, multiple foster placements, temporary ones, and there was like a halfway house. But at the time, because my sister's got a different dad, her dad, Paul, took her out of care, so then I was left into the care system by myself. And that's where it kind of changed the dynamic for me. I went into like hostels. There's like a halfway house. Remember like Tracy Beaker?
Yeah.
Amazing program.
Yeah.
But it was like that kind of house, like kids of different ages mixing and stuff. They make it look very nice in there. It's completely not like that. There's a place in Coventry, Wisteria Lodge, where that's where my abuse started happening physically, mentally, sexually. I got sexually abused by kids in there that were like teenagers, because it was a mix of people. I remember like going there with my boombox, a freaking bin bag full of clothes, and my teddy, like I had a Christmas tree in it, the one eye off. And I was getting sexually abused by kids in there. They were doing stuff to me which I didn't have a clue what was happening or stuff.
How old were you at this point?
I must have been about 5 or 6, bro. Wow. Do you know what I mean? And that becoming the normal where kids can touch you and do things, and like the structure in there, even the people that were in charge of you or supposed to care for you, it's always a bat of an eyelid. Oh, it's just an angry kid, don't listen to him. And that was through my whole childhood. I was always pushed down at school. I was angry at school. Had to have helpers at school for my aggression and my dyslexia. So I was never really allowed to even play on the playground. I was always kept in, watching kids play on the playground while I was cooking with like a support teacher. So I never really had that connection with kids. I never had a childhood. I can say that. What can I remember from my childhood? Abuse, neglect, sexual abuse, beatings, seeing my mum drunk. Do you know what I mean? It's just, it's hard to comprehend a kid not having a childhood, because I've got 2 beautiful kids now. I just couldn't fucking imagine it, bro. Couldn't imagine it.
Yeah, honestly, I couldn't imagine how difficult that must be. And I always think, again, about, you know, mindset is your perspective, isn't it? It's how you see your situation, how you see, you know, yourself and the world. And no matter, like, I don't ever sit and feel sorry for myself. I did at one point, and that's where I was severely depressed, and I got myself out of it. But
do you think you need to go for that though? I personally think.
Yeah, I do. But also I think, like, perspective, like my situation, right? My dad, this business, the furniture business, my dad started that before I was born.
Yeah.
So I was born into a world where we weren't spoiled, but we had enough. And we had a lot more than other kids growing up. We went on nice holidays. And I always think back, like, how lucky I was to have that in comparison to yourself.
Yeah.
And I just think that if everybody in the world showed a little bit more gratitude
100%.
towards their situation,
then
the world would be a much better place. And I think gratitude is the key element to mindset in terms of perspective. I see you've got it on your face there, and I just think no matter how shit your situation is, there's always something to be grateful for. And it always just makes me think, like, how just because I went through this one shit thing that was horrendous, I'm still eternally grateful for everything in my life and everything that I've been through. But at the time, you don't necessarily see it. But as you grow older, you grow wiser, you gain more experiences, you gain more perspective. And sitting on a conversation with you, it breaks my heart to hear that you didn't have a childhood, because I know what mine was like. But equally, I know that, and you'll probably say, correct me if I'm wrong, but you wouldn't be the person that you are today if that wouldn't.
No, I'm grateful I went for it. I went for it, absolutely grateful.
Is that what, if you don't mind me
gratitude and solitude, it's them two contradicting things. Like, I could never grasp the concept of solitude. I was like, what is that about? Like, it's just loneliness. Loneliness is just depression. Like, but when you actually realise what loneliness and solitude are, that's when the tables kind of turn. Like, loneliness is you being by yourself, drinking yourself, being depressive. That's loneliness. People attach themselves to flesh, to people. Oh, that car's going to be nice when I drive it. Then, do you know what I mean? It brings you loneliness. You gravitate to a woman when she leaves you, you're lonely. I'm happy by myself. You have to get an application to be my friend. It's easier to get a mortgage than to be my friend at the minute, bro. And it is that because I don't allow anyone in, not because I don't want anyone in. I'm good. Yeah. Like, you got to think there's so many, 99% of the population are fake. They come into your life to take from you. I'm happy just to give, because that's just me. I'll give until I'm empty, because that's my kind of vessel. But I'm very observant. Do you know what I mean? People disguise themselves well. Do you know what I mean? An enemy was once a friend, not a stranger. And that's what hurts the most, I think, about life, is the people close to you can turn against you when you're doing well, or things are getting better for you, and then just like, oh, you've changed. Yeah, you fucking ain't. Do you know what I mean? It's that mentality, and it's just, I think that's what's making me into a better person, is all the stuff I've been through. Like the first time I can remember a hug, bro, was Miss Halford in my primary school. That was the first hug I can ever remember as a child off a teacher. And I'll never forget it because she didn't let go. She didn't let go, and it just reminds me of a Disney hug. I don't know if you know what that is or...
No.
So a Disney hug, I've never been to Disneyland, but a Disney hug is, obviously, when you go there, you've got like Mickey Mouse, Goofy and stuff like that, and the kids are there. And the people that entertain the kids are told, if a kid comes up to you or an adult or anyone, when they hug you, you cannot let go until they let go.
Right, okay.
Because it's powerful, because you're giving them time and effort. You know, as soon as you let go, it's just you let that connection. So that's the way I hug my kids now. I hug them tight until they let go. Do you know what I mean? Because they know they feel the love like. And it's just, I've tried to bring that trauma, change your perspective and bring it into my later life. Like,
I love it. I think people could 100% learn a lesson from that. The connections that you have, like I've just had a similar conversation with the crews who's just been on, and it's not about the, like, without money, you're fucked. But it's not all about how much money you earn and the material possessions that you have. It's about the connections and the network that you have and the people that you meet. And I love that that is the essence of hug somebody and don't let go. Because that's how meaningful that relationship is.
of course, yeah.
And I can see how everything that's happened in your life, or everything that you've explained so far, transpires into that you've just said about the Disney hug, and how important that hug from that teacher was. And it still is in your forefront of your mind today.
Because it's the only way we memorise stuff, is from trauma-based stuff or emotional. Emotional, whether it's negative or positive. Like my PTSD, there's a lot of things I cannot remember from my childhood because it's childhood amnesia.
Okay.
Because my brain's chosen to forget that shit. I can't remember some shit. I can remember the horrific stuff, but I may be blocking out the good things because there's too many negative. The same with like PTSD. There's some things in Afghan I cannot remember, but people will remember them so vividly. And so to the point, I'm just like, I can't remember being there. Like, Smithy, you literally shot people like, you were there, bro. Like, cannot remember it, bro. Like,
Wow.
do you know what I mean? Because it's, your body goes into that state of mind where your neurological pathways, like, dumps the chemical, forget about that.
Yeah.
Put that in the box. Do you know what I mean?
That's just, wow. I did actually know that. That's something I've never been told before, that there is things in your past, traumatic things, because it of whichever way your body, your brain decides to not remember it, because I didn't know that.
Your body and brain is there to protect you. Like, it's simple as that. It loves the comfort zone. So that's all it does, is to protect you.
Yeah.
Protect you. But you don't elevate from that.
That's why the news and social media, everything is negative, isn't it?
It's shit, bro.
Yeah.
I don't even know. Like, people even say, "Do you not see it?" Don't have a clue, bro.
No, I don't. I literally just said the same thing. I avoid the news like the plague.
Yeah.
I don't want that negativity in my life. I don't want the first thing in the morning when I wake up is to see, as unfortunate, as sad as it is, some war-stricken country in another part of the world is going on. Like, I feel for those people and it's horrible, but I don't want to absorb that negativity in my life. Like,
You can get consumed by it, right?
Yeah.
It's the same as the old man down the road that still gets the newspaper.
yeah,
There's one guy in my street that does it every morning. I feel quite sad for him. Just like,
you're just absorbing that shit.
exactly, you're just going there every single day reading about people's lives every single day, and you forgot to live yours, kind of way.
Yeah. How long were you in Afghanistan for?
I was there, I did 2 tours, 2009 to 10 and 2012, so about over a year altogether.
Wow. So how old would you have been at that point?
My first tour was 19. Obviously, I was in the care system for a very long time, from like 5, I left, I think it was about 16, 17, because I was in partial care, my stepdad and stuff like that. We can go into that if you want. Or
Yeah.
So going through my childhood, I was a bad kid, angry kid, as they want to call it.
Yeah.
Very abusive at school, got permanently expelled from a primary school loads of times for anger issues and stuff, if you want to call it that. No, your kid's just, do you know what I mean? He's got problems. They didn't know how to deal with it back then, if you want to say that. I used to see my mum now and again every couple of weeks. Like the relationship got better. I see her every couple of weeks. We used to go to like McDonald's and stuff like that. Like when freaking hell Happy Meals was like $1.99 back in the day, bro. Which is an amazing thing now, and I still go to that McDonald's. And I take my kids there now and again, and it's weird having that feeling, because it's the same place I used to meet my mum like 20, 30 years ago, and it's still there. So it's good changing that perspective. But then going through like my teenage years, same detail, I was angry. I started to get involved in a bit of violence, gang related, selling drugs, got into the different communities and stuff like. My life kind of changed at around about 16 when I converted to Islam. Just because.
At which age, sorry?
I was about 15, 16. I think I was going into it more to have a family.
Okay.
In a way, because they showed me things that I've never seen. Like, people didn't even know me. They would turn up my house, feeding me, like wanted to clothe me, come around mine, stay at mine. Like, I'm just like, my family don't even do that. Why do these people want to do that? So the love from them is amazing. It's an amazing religion that way. Learned Arabic, prayed every single day, 5 days, went to Jummah, spent time, weekends in the mosque, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, used to stay there, prayed, learn Arabic, did that for years. And then when I went to the mosque, when I was around about 16 years old, which is round the corner from my mum's, just over Stony Stanton Road in Coventry, I went to one of the mullahs and he spoke to me. He's like, I want to introduce you to another brother. His name Dawood, which is David in Arabic, which was my name as well. So I went to go and meet him and that. He was a white brother. He was just like, how does your family think about you converted to Islam? I said, look, my mum lives around the corner. She's an alcoholic. I haven't seen her for like 6 months. She became quite abusive again, lying and stuff like that. I said, I don't know my dad. He left when I was like 3 years old. He said, realistically, he said, like, you need to go and speak to your mum and try and mend something because something bad could happen. I didn't really take that on board. Do you know what I mean? I went home and that day went past, 2 days went by. I was watching Footballers' Wives. I don't know if you're old enough to remember that?
Yeah.
Footballers' Wives back in the day. About 7:30, 7:45 at night, just a knock on the door. Just remember like a policeman's knock at the door. I was upstairs. My stepdad opened the door. He's like, "Is David Smith here?" Yeah, he's upstairs. What's he done? I was like, "Fucking hell, I've been caught for something here." Do you know what I mean? Instantly that bad. It's like, fuck. He went, "No, we just want to tell you that Maria Grace passed away." It just fucking hit me, bro. Like, I'll never, I get emotional thinking about it because it's my mum. Like, it's hard because the shit she went through as a partner, as a mother, as an orphan, and the way I am now, I wish I was the person I am now to help her. There's no way she would have died, bro. Do you know what I mean? Like, if I could have just, maybe if I went to speak to her, do you know what I mean? It's hard. It's hard.
Oh, I bet, mate. That must have, I bet that hit you.
I fucking ran, bro. I ran from my stepdad's house, sorry, all the way to mum's house. The furthest I've ever fucking run, bro. Like, it must have been about 5-6 miles. Ran there, knock on the door, looking for the letterbox, nothing. You can still see her clothes on her chair and through there, like the blinds, the nets. Like an old woman used to have. Mum used to have them. And
well, how was she passed away?
Heart attack. Oh. Yeah. She was at her boyfriend's place, Chris, on the flats next to the police station. But the saddest thing about that story is on my birthday. So she died in March. On the 20th, I think it was the 14th of Feb, she'd written a diary. So that's my birthday, Valentine's Day. She written there, I'm really missing my baby boy. It's breaking my heart. Reading that, then knowing she died a month later, it just shows people do die from a broken heart and depression. It leads you down that. She just drank herself to oblivion. She was drunk most days. It's just horrible, that feeling. You'll probably get with your brother. He died in a very depressive, lonely, sad state. Not happy. I know it's weird thinking of death as happiness, but if I can go on my bed when I'm dead, when I'm dying, my kid's by my side, I'm happy, I've achieved something. Do you know what I mean? That's what I want. It's just, it's hard, but yeah, it's hard.
It is.
I said I wouldn't fucking cry. Yeah.
That's the most heartbreaking thing for me, as it sounds like with you and the relationship with your mum is that one, the things I said to my brother before he died and the regret I'll always have, like no matter what, whatever I do and how many people I speak to in the podcast and everything, no matter what I do, I will always regret the last thing I ever said to my brother, and it will live with me for the rest of my life. And knowing that then he was that sad and that lonely and that upset that the only way he felt like he could get rid of that pain was to take his own life. That's the way that he felt. It's like losing somebody is hard. Like losing anybody is difficult, but to lose somebody to suicide, knowing that that's the only way they felt like they could get out from that pain, I just don't. There's nothing that can ever compare to it.
No.
And it's like with your mum knowing that she was that low, and obviously, I know you said she died from a heart attack, but you know that the circumstances leading up to that point.
She had no kids around her, bro.
It's fucking heartbreaking, isn't it?
None of her kids were around her. Do you know what I mean? None of her kids.
Do you not think though, like again, like I will never not regret what I said to my brother, because it's the last memory I have of him, and the last memory is seeing him, how I saw him. But I do not regret what's happened since. Like I always say, you know, life happens for you, not to you. And again, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm sure you believe that you would not be sat here right now if everything happened in your life had not happened.
100%.
Everything is a series of events, negative and positive, but it's how you respond from those events that makes you who you are. If you react, it's going to go negative. But if you respond, you have a responsibility. Like what happens to you is not your fault, but how you respond from it is completely on you.
Trauma can turn into purpose, bro.
Yeah.
Everything can. It's like you're saying with your perspective, everything is changing that dynamic, and it's hard, but pain has been the most amazing thing to ever happen to my life. I appreciate happiness when it comes, like the wavers mentality. I always call it like surfers ride waves the biggest they can, the happiness right at the top as long as fucking possible, because they know it's going to crash. But changing the formation of it, where when you're crashing, you're on the surfboard and you're just paddling, so you're not drowning, paddling, then keep going for the waves and stuff like that is really helped me go through my transition and that.
Yeah, no, I can resonate with that 1,000,000%, mate. So how old were you when your mum passed away?
16.
16.
16, man.
What sort of transpired after that event?
I just went at a bit of a fucking... Yeah, I couldn't accept anyone. Do you know what I mean?
Sorry, so you found Islam.
Yeah.
And then your mum very sadly passed away. Was Islam still something that you practiced after that?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. I was still praying. I even put like prayers in a coffin when I went to go and see. It's just mad. Like the last time I seen my mum was in a coffin. It's just, yeah. I was still practicing it, still believing it. I went to the mosque a couple of weeks later. One of the mullahs said to me, like, this is a test sent from Allah to see how strong your faith is. I couldn't come home and do that at 16, bro.
No.
Do you know what I mean? I was still nearly like dealing drugs, getting into fight and violence, and people are saying, oh, God just took your mum away for you to test you. I'm just like, fuck that, I'm turning my back on him. Do you know what I mean? So I stopped practicing. Do you know what I mean? I had to walk away from things. But when I walked away, life got a little bit worse. My relationship with my stepdad, it wasn't the best at the time anyway, just because of things that he did to my mum. He was an amazing man, he took some wrongs, but I know my mum was an absolute arsehole at times as well. Fiery, do you know what I mean? And she taught me how to be a man as well. That Italian breed in me, do you know what I mean? She taught me how to tie my shoelaces, cook dinner and bang someone out. My mum did, do you know what I mean? She was an amazing woman because she had to teach me that. So I kind of like disappeared from my dad. Like he ended up hitting me and stuff. So I moved out of there. Then I became homeless. I had to register myself as homeless. So I was living on the streets, halfway houses, hostels for a couple of years. And then I got a placement. I was about 18 years old at a place called the Foyer in Coventry. So they house homeless kids and they give you an accommodation. So then you can actually start looking for work and stuff like that, because I couldn't even get work because you're homeless, you can't do anything. People don't realise that. It's like, I want to get a job. You've got nowhere to live. You've got no bank card. You know what I mean? You don't even know your national insurance number. Do you know what I mean? You can't just do that. So I wanted to join the military, but I couldn't even join the military at 18 because I had nowhere to live. They were just like, you're homeless, bro. So went to the Foyer, got registered there, played basketball for years. That was a godsend to me as well. Then actually joined the military at 19 years old. It's a massive change in my life. Do you know what I mean? Going from homeless the year before to then joining the military, thriving in it, absolutely loved it because I didn't have a plan B, was the pinnacle, I think, of me changing my life and me having a bit of self-care. Because going through training, people were moaning about their life. Do you know what I mean? Like we could be in the, on exercise and that, people are moaning about the shit rations or sleeping in a sleeping bag. I'm like, bro, I was eating out dustbins a year ago and that, like you have the, like you say, with gratitude. Do you know what I mean? At the end of training as well, like it's about 2 months before I was supposed to pass out, I actually found out my real dad passed away.
How did that make you feel?
Nothing really, bro. I didn't know how to take it. People were like, you're not upset, you're not this. I'm just like, how are you supposed to grieve for something you don't know?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So I had an opportunity. It was just like if you leave now to go and sort out his funeral, because he made me, I think, first in the will. That's how I found out I've got a freaking half sister I've never met.
Really?
Yeah, it's mad. And so I didn't choose to go back because I didn't want to get back squadded because I was doing so well in training. I'm so glad I didn't, because I got best recruit out of like 100 soldiers. Coming from being homeless to being the best soldier out of 100 people, that's fucking mad, bro. Do you know what I mean? 100%, bro. Like I think I was born to be a soldier for the things that I've been through. But coming out of training and dealing with my dad's kind of funeral, didn't even go to his funeral, didn't bother with it. Went to his house in Ball Hill, and even he left a letter. So
How did your dad pass away?
A diabetic coma.
Right.
So we was type 1. I personally think it's suicide. Like if you know you're type 1 and you don't take your insulin and you start neglecting yourself, your pancreas starts to fail, your organs start to fail. And he was on his bed. I think they said like blood was coming out of his ears and stuff like that. So it's quite a horrific way to go if you go in hypo. Like it's not a very good thing to go into.
My stepdad's diabetic and I've seen him go hypo before.
It's not a nice thing.
No.
So he knew, do you know what I mean, what was happening. So I think because he wrote a letter to me, why would you write a letter to your son that you haven't met?
Yeah.
I think he knew he was kind of going. But the mad, so I used to play basketball about 900 metres away from where he used to live. I didn't even know he used to live there. Because he'd come back to Coventry because he left, had another family. He must have come back to Coventry. And I used to play basketball at 5 Gosford Street. And that kept me alive, but I used to play like 8 hours a day. Like my fingers were sore.
I love basketball. What position?
Love him, point guard.
Yeah.
Like back in the day, like Dallas Mavericks were my favourite, Dirk Nowitzki, Steve Nash. Like every day I used to play, like, because it just kept me like, from that mentality. But he wrote in the letter that he used to come and watch me play basketball most days in that park. I didn't have a fucking clue. It's just mad. Like my dad was standing there watching me play basketball, watching me grow up, but he didn't have the nerve or even the audacity or just something just to speak to me. Do you know what I mean? That guy's hand was on the rail where I've probably touched. I just didn't know. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to have that guilt. He must have had so much fucking guilt to not have an open conversation with you. You could just, like, I'm your son. I mean, your father. But that could have completely changed my dynamic. What could I have done? I probably would have banged him out. Exactly, yeah. I just don't know how I would have took that.
But then again, how would the events of your life happened if that introduction would have happened?
Exactly, completely. Like it could have threw me off everything.
Yeah.
Threw me off my journey, threw me where I'm supposed to be. But I think he just died a very lonely person. Do you know what I mean? Like I found out I had a half sister I've never met, still not met. I'd love to try and meet her one day, but the solicitors got involved in data protection. I couldn't even try. So I want to try and do some content to even try and find her. Do you know what I mean? Because social media is very powerful.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? So you never know.
Yeah, never know. That's crazy. You know, there's people out there that you have some form of connection to that you'll never meet in your life.
Especially like with social media, like some of my stuff does go viral.
Yeah, it does.
So she could have watched my shit and she didn't even know.
Especially the last 12 months, your following has increased, you know, drastically, hasn't it?
Yeah, massively. I went from like 8,000 to nearly 200,000 within a couple of weeks. That's all organic.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. That's because of him, bruv.
Yeah.
100%.
But your content's very like authentic, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's like, whereas mine is Dan recording me.
Formal.
Like everything's basically without Dan, I'd be up shit creek without paddle. But yours is very much just you talking to the camera. But I guess I believe that resonates with people really well because it's just off the cuff and you're just speaking from the heart, which is what people buy into. Which again, I'm speaking from the heart, but I'm, you know, there's a you know, that's the difference between our content. But again, that's why it's done so.
We both want to help people, bro.
Yeah, exactly. That's the main point, isn't it? Yeah.
The people you can help, I may not be able to help because they can't resonate with me. I know I can look quite standoffish. I've got that persona about me. People think I'm quite like arrogant. No, I just don't let people in. If you want to speak to me properly.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I don't allow that guard. It's just the first videos I did, how I actually got into talking.
No, go on, tell me.
It's mad because my social medias used to be petrol dread. So I used to have dreadlocks but I used to import American cars. I fucking loved them.
Right.
I used to import them, do them up and sell them on and stuff like that.
How long ago was that?
About 4 years ago.
Right.
Yeah, because COVID hit it quite much. So like the increase of shipping containers and doing stuff like that just went, so there weren't really that much profit in it. So I was literally driving the cars and selling them to break even. So I was just like, whatever. Did a couple of property events, got into property, motivational speaking stuff. And there was a public speaking, one of my friends, Alistair, he told me, like, you need to do this. Like, your story's powerful. I said, bro, I'm not fucking telling my story, bro. Like, fuck that. You've got millionaires and people around here. Like, what the fuck do they want to talk about my story? Did this course about public speaking, how the content and the context of it and how to formulate it, how to be a present, how to be this and that. I can't do that, bro. Like, I lost my voice. Do you know what I mean? From my early years, I was in mute when I was a kid. I never used to speak for years, bro. People couldn't get a conversation from me. I just went straight to my room, that's it, cut. Like, do you know what I mean? Then going for the military gave my voice in a way, and then coming out that with PTSD and stuff. But the public speaking really helped me because it helped me put context into my story, try and do it well. And he said, look, you need to tell your story because you are preventing people from committing suicide if you tell your story. So one of my first videos was about suicide and it went completely viral. It was just me talking about the shit that I've been through. And about a day or two later, one of my good friends, Martin Moore, I was in the Grenadier Guards with, absolute exceptional soldier. Like I used to look up to him, bro. Like the amount of tours this guy's done, the shit he's done, CP, like he was like a man of a man. Like you wouldn't fuck with him, kind of thing. And he messaged me out of the blue. He was like, oh, Smithy, how you doing, bro? I was like, it's random, like messaging him back. I said, yes, bro, what's up? Give me your number. Like, because he was too happy. He was being fake. Do you know what I mean? In a way. Got on the phone and that, he just started speaking. He started crying to me. He's like, bro, like, I was about to kill myself the other day. I said, what you want about? I said, what's going on? He was just like, I was just sat at work, got the pills, all the medication he was on. He rang his mum to tell his daughter, like, I just can't do it no more, tell her I love her. Told his mum and that, put down the phone. As soon as he put down the phone, my video of suicide came up.
Wow.
Straight away. He was like, that's what fucking stopped me. And ever since then, bro, like, I was just like, words are powerful. And ever since then, I've just been relentless. Yeah. Like, I've done nearly about 800 videos now, 900 videos.
That's incredible, mate. That is fucking powerful.
Yeah, I get goosebumps thinking about it, bro.
Yeah,
it's just,
I am. It's,
yeah.
Wow. That video stopped somebody from taking, that's why it's so important. What you do, I believe I do. Like, again, and I've said this a lot, but my most fulfilling thing that has ever happened to me is somebody saying, if you did not start at Tom's Talks, I would not be here anymore. There's nothing that will ever compare to that.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
And the fact that that video that you talked about, your vulnerabilities and your story stopped somebody that was obviously, so you looked up to, stopped him from taking nothing will ever compare to that.
I didn't know what to say. I just pressed record in my car because my car was my safe space. Yeah. That's why I'm into cars. Like, as soon as you close that door, it's suction. Everything just goes. It's like AirPods. They just go. Yeah. You can be alone with your thoughts and stuff like that. Like, how many men, like all of us, after work or after the gym or a bad day, just sit there in the car and just probably cry or get angry, hit the fucking steering wheel, grab the steering wheel. That was constant for me every fucking day. I was just a ball of anger, depression, sadness, wanting to kill people, bro. Like, I was in a bad state, bro. I'm lucky I'm not in jail. Like, I've got a lot of convictions, ABH, GBH, fucking biting people, coppers. Like, there's a lot of shit. And it was just all the shit I've been through. I didn't know how to change it because I was such a ball of it, and it come my identity. Like, our trauma can come my identity, and people don't want to shift from it. And that's what the healing journey is. You never truly heal from what you've gone through. You change your emotional state, but you don't change the being. Like, I'm still that kid. Like, if you say something to me which will trigger me, I've got to learn how to respond, not react, which is so important. Normally I'll just react and bite someone or fucking hit them. But now I'll just respond back to it, give them gratitude. How can I help you? Do you know what I mean? Open up that space, which is so important. Because how can I perceive myself to be a good human, a good man, a good father, or whatever, if I can't do that? And it's hard to let go of it. And I think that's what I was finding hard, is because that's why a lot of people self-sabotage.
How did you feel like you did let go of it?
The kids really helped me massively, because I needed to learn, like, remember the first time I kind of shouted around my kids just like, that ain't happening again. Yeah. No one shouts around my kids. It's so important because their neurological pathways and how their chemicals work. Like, my kids going round, I'll show you the video after. Yeah. The kids going around, my little boy's story in Navy are going around my kitchen on their little bikes and stuff. My little boy's story gets quite agitated, a bit angry. Do you know what I mean? Because they're just emotional beings. He's trying to push her out of the way. And I stop him. Story, stop. Not listening to me. Stop, story. I'm just like, story. He just looks at me. Stop it. Like, you're going to hurt Navy. You start whispering to him. And he looks at you and he interlocks with your eyes because you're speaking to his soul. You get heart to heart. I always speak to my kids heart to heart. I never look down at them, speak to him like that. Instantly does it, and he goes really slowly. That's what's so important. Like, I had to learn how to be a dad from a book and trauma, not a fucking man. Do you know what I mean? But I'm such in a powerful position now because I know the man that I don't want to be. I fail all the time. I make mistakes. I sin. Like, do you know what I mean? I'm just trying to be the best person as much as Christ as possible. I'm trying to. Do you know what I mean? I fucked up my last relationship because I was seeking freaking validation, which is pathetic. I know that now. Do you know what I mean? I forgive myself for it, but I'm just trying to be a better man for it.
How old are your kids?
Tori is 3 on November the 5th, so in a couple of weeks. My little girl is 2 on 26th of January.
Amazing.
Amazing, brother. Honestly, they're so funny.
Yeah, I can see how that would change your life for the better.
Yeah.
Where did you, do you know, you just really explained amazingly how to, it's the mirroring somebody to bring down that emotional charge, that emotional energy. Where did you learn that?
Through books and education, bro.
Yeah.
I had to learn podcast. The last 3 years, I've been on a completely mad journey. Like, I never used to be able to read at school. I was dyslexic as fuck. Like, the way you spell it, I'll try and, I can't, like, I used to get so frustrated. I used to have to help her teach me. So the teacher would teach me, but then another teacher would try and teach me how to read and write. I couldn't read and write properly. But the last couple of years, educational books constantly about emotional intelligence, neurological pathways, the senses, how they all work, how to interact with people, how to befriend people and stuff like that, because I didn't know how to befriend people because people just used to hurt me. Do you know what I mean? So I get on that basis, setting boundaries. Eating's very important, your microbiome, like your neurological pathways, how they, like 80% of your serotonin's in your stomach, not your brain. So if my gut's healthy, my brain's going to be healthy, your mental health's going to be healthy. And these are all my disciplines that I put in every day to try and be the best version of me. I'm not perfect, no one is. Do you know what I mean? I just try and be, I lose my shit sometimes, but I apologise quicker. Do you know what I mean?
You're only human.
100%. You should be quick to listen and slow to talk, which is so important. You may find that hard. But it's such a good thing to do because people have lost that intelligence. Like, you listen amazingly because you want to engross people in the conversation. Just listen to people. That's all they want.
Yeah. What's the saying? Seek first to understand, then be understood.
100%, yeah. So many people want to be validated from their ego. So I have no ego, bro. I just have nothing to prove to no one except for my kids and Jesus, bro.
I love that. And again, it's the story, isn't it? It's if people, in my opinion, would accept what has happened in their life, and rather than be in that victim mentality of why me, and use that as an opportunity to help other people that might have gone through similar experiences. For example, yourself, you've gone through a lot of trauma in your life, and which it broke my heart to think that this is the first year that you've not wanted to kill yourself, but yet you've used that and you've created a video talking about your experiences, and that one video has then stopped somebody from taking their own life. I say it again, it doesn't get any better than that.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's just mad to think about it. Like, it just came to a light this last week, and I spoke to Mert about it because he's the only one really I open up to, and it's like, bro, like, you just saved me, because we have really good intellectual conversations. We either learn from each other or push each other. There's no gossip, there's no bullshit. I don't care about fucking Adam down the road, who his missus, don't give a fuck. It's all about learning and understanding each other and bettering each other. So I don't really entertain conversations if it ain't going to better me or you or other people anymore. And that's another thing with the military, do you know what I mean? That saved me my 8 years career in the military. That was amazing, like.
I bet you had some experiences and some stories from that 8 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good, bad, funny, mad, yeah. Amazing.
Where else did the military take you? Obviously, you went to Afghanistan. Whereabouts in the world did you go?
So I've been Canada, France, Germany, all different parts, obviously the UK. Started my military career at 19 years old, passed training, came out straight to Nijmegen Company, which is the ceremonial company for the guards. So then we'll go out and obviously guard the Queen, the Buckingham Palace, St James's Palace, so the people with the bearskins.
Yeah.
So I used to do that. Then I actually got the opportunity to be a battle casualty replacement on the first tour. So people were obviously getting killed in Afghan on the 2009 tour. I put my hand up a lot. I wanted to go to replace someone. So that was my first tour. I was 19 years old, and just seeing people shot, blown up, being fired at for the first time was mad. It's
What did it feel like?
amazing, bro. Some people get very scared. I've never been scared in war, and that is me saying that just because I think it's how my body deals with trauma and chaos. It's the norm.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? A lot of people out there were scared shitless, like, you know, this is normal, loud bangs, banging, this, that, shit, like, it's just normal to me, which can turn into stupidity or bravery. Do you know what I mean? Because sometimes I wouldn't even duck if some people, like the Taliban, were shooting at us. Because I'm just like, yeah, if it's my time, it's my time. Like that mentality. But yeah, it was just chaotic. It was a winter tour the first time. We were holding ground, like peace of mind, trying to take over villages, stuff like that. But it's amazing thing. Like, I think every man should go through it, going through the army, because it gives you things possibly your dad can't teach you. Do you know what I mean? And going through that, yeah.
What was the main lesson that you felt like you learned from the army?
Never give up, man. Resilience is the biggest thing. They've taught me things I still adhere to today that's kept me alive. Even when I've tried to kill myself 3 times, every single time I've got back up, straight off, same day back in the gym. Killed myself, straight back in the gym. It's that mentality, and like, the first tour was kinetic, coming back off that, didn't really feel right. Came quite angry again. Used drink and drugs to fill voids and to feel something, because you're numb in pain constantly. My night terrors were horrific, bro. Like,
Was this from the PTSD?
yeah, like, I didn't know what it was, but it consumed my life, bro. Like, consumed my life. So on my second tour in 2012, which was one of the most kinetic tours at the Grenadier Guards, there's over 100 injuries, 5 deaths on that tour. And we used to go out doing baiting up. So it was a summer tour, which is very kinetic because the harvest grows with
What
the
do you mean by
populace.
kinetic, sorry?
Kinetic is fighting,
Oh,
back and forth, very kinetic.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
And literally, we were on a PB Clifton. You go over to the green zone, literally, like, it could be a metre, bro, from like here to that table to there. You were safe here. If you went on that side,
Really?
that's it. Bombs, bullets, people being shot at, blown up. It was that mad, from life and death, literally going over. So we used to do something called baiting ops. Baiting ops is literally what it is. We'd go out, be baited by the Taliban to be shot at so we could shoot back, which is mad in here. So we're like, yeah, we're here. Like, we wait till we get shot at, because they're not very good shots. So they have to take quite a lot of shots to try and get us, because we'll have like suicides or better scopes and stuff, so we can look for, and identify them. And I'll never forget this day. So after coming back off R&R, we went on a baiting op mission. We were out for, I think it was about 7 to 10 days. Went out to a compound, checking the compounds around us for enemy positions and stuff like that. And we weren't allowed in this mosque. And like, we tried to get the interpreter involved, and the guy that owned the mosque and stuff like that, he was like, no, you can't go in there, like, you dirty shoes, because you're not allowed in there, you've got to be clean. Realistically, we said, no, we'll have a look in there, we'll peep our head round and stuff like that. But at the time, the officer was like, no, we're not doing it, we don't want to disrespect them, because that's just going to anger them more. Moved away from there, took over a compound, sat down, did a bit of a plan, where we're going to go now, what compound are we going to take over, and we're going to stay there tonight. So I made up that, and Ali Engum was the fire support outside the building, checking for enemy positions, and John Dawson was as well, which was one of my good friends from training. And so we went through training together, went to the same company together, did 2 operational tours together. And then I've come outside, we got into fire from the Taliban. They were coming from machine guns from, I think it was the northwest. We were getting shot at. I remember fucking Dawson, he's an idiot, but he's still alive today. So he had a hard cock. Hard cock literally is the bullet gets jammed. Yeah, right. The mechanism housing. Literally, I was like, Dawson, what are you doing? He's trying to change his rifle when to get him fired at. I'm like, bro, you fucking stupid. Get down or get in the building. Like, his mentality just weren't there. He was still getting shot at. So I grabbed his rifle, got in like an irrigation dix. I've pulled it hard, and I remember the round leaving. I remember catching it. And I put it in my top pocket of my off spray, put it down there, and that bullet never left me on that tour. And there's a reason for that in a minute. And got him back in the compound. The enemy fire went. We moved from that compound, wait till it was clear, searched the area, nothing, couldn't find the Taliban anywhere. Took over a compound. When we got in there, so I said to the 2IC and the section commander, right, we need to put out sentries. We put out sentries at the top. So sentries are like the overscope. So I'd look out onto the ground to see where the enemy positions are and give you cover and fire. So there was on the top of the compound. Ali Engum took, I think, the north, and Dawson took the south. So we're looking out. I was on top of the compound first with a sharpshooter. For about an hour, nothing. But the environment just went proper still. And when you're out there, when the environment changes, you know something's going to go wrong. Like when locals are coming around you or moving around. Nothing happened. I called over to Sergeant Shepherd to tell him to relieve us. So he nominated John Dawson and Engum. They took over our positions. Dawson took over my position. He took up a ladder, crawled across. And there was like divots like that on top of the roof on the flat part. And I said to Dawson, look, these are your arcs. There's nothing been seen. Just keep an eye on the mosque and keep out on your arcs. When you drink water or anything like that, just make sure you take a knee or you get down the divot. So if you are still, you're not going to be a target. What the fuck does he do? I get off the compound. I take off my helmet and body armour, put down my rifle. All you hear is, it just went quiet. So what the fuck? Then Engum shouted, and literally John Dawson was shot in the face by a sniper. Mad. Everything just went mad. It was just a bit of a blur. Your training kicks in. I didn't have anything on me. I literally didn't have my rifle, didn't have my body armour, my helmet. Instantly, my energy was just to Dawson because I heard something, didn't know what happened. Engum was frozen. Like he had PTSD straight away. He was just shell shock. Trying to get a conversation out of him. I was like, bro, where's Dawson? Where is he? He just looked at me stern, like white-eyed. I said, get the fuck off the building. Tried to drag him down. Took over the Gympie that's on top of there. Seen Dawson. Grabbed the GPMG, which is a big machine gun. Hard cocked that. Tried to fire. Click. Nothing. Did it again. Weren't working. I was like, fuck. Threw that down off the building. Grabbed the SA-80. Tried to do that. That was hard cock. Still getting shot at by the Taliban. Like there was bullets all around us. I was like, bro, I'm dead. Like if I didn't. So I seen Dawson. I was right, I'm not going to be able to win this firefight. I need to get over to Dawson to try and take the attention off him. Got them to give cover and fire. Went over to Dawson, grabbed him, couldn't see the entry or exit wound. So I was a bit baffled, like where the fuck has he got shot? He's just unconscious, he fell. Turned his head and literally went like that and you could just see where the entry wound went in. So it hit him in the bottom jaw and came out the top of his head. Right there. Yeah, survived, bro. But I thought he was dead. He was unconscious. So the only thing you can do with a casualty that's been shot in the head, you can't put like head com, which is like it's a material you put into wounds from like jellyfish. As soon as it hits the blood cells, what it does then, it fills it up, it fills the wound. So it stops. It's an amazing thing. Head com, it's called.
Right.
Couldn't use any of that, so I had to drain his mouth of blood, pulled his tongue up so he was choking on it. I was leaning him over, so all the blood was coming out of his mouth. Then I had to put my whole body over him because rounds were just coming in. So I put my body over his, like, if I get shot, at least he's not going to get injured more. Grabbed him over. So I was on top of him. I was dragging him to the top of the compound while they were giving him fire. Got him to the medic, pulled him down they were like ladders, but they're made out of wood. Terrible ladders, like they weren't going to take our weight. I was like, we ain't both going down there. So it pulled him like that. And I remember my mate Charlie at the bottom of the ladders, as his face tilted, all Dawson's blood fell out of his mouth and his entry went straight into my mate's mouth. I know, yeah. But it's such a dark sense of humour in the military. You've got to have it. I was just like, fucking hell, mate. Got him down off that.
I'm guessing he wasn't conscious at this
Out
point.
of it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I thought he was dead.
Yeah.
Couldn't find a pulse. Couldn't find nothing. I don't know if my adrenaline was running too quick or that I couldn't pick up a pulse because you're getting shot at. The last thing you want to do is try and take a pulse. Yeah. You know what I mean? Yeah. You're there, mate. I'm just like, nothing. No response at all. Got him down off the building. Gave him over to the medic. Took over the firefight. I seen where the enemy position was. I took a 66 out, which is a rocket launcher. Literally just pulled that, twisted it, hit the compound, the firefight stopped. Turned our attention to Dawson, and literally he just came round. Started to try and speak. It was just like, oh, what's happened? We was like, oh, bro, you just like fell off the building and stuff. You're absolutely sound.
You didn't tell him at that point?
Nah, like that. Would you want me to tell you? You've just been shot in the face.
I'd have a story to tell one after that.
Exactly. But he was just like, what's going on? I'm just like, bro, just try and keep his hands away, keep his airways and that. He ended up putting his finger in his head because he was finding it. His finger went in his head when the exit wound came. And we were just like, yeah, that's nasty. And then the heli came in, literally.
What was his reaction after that?
He was sound, bro. He didn't know because he couldn't feel it.
You'd fucking freak yeah.
If you knew, he just thought, because when you feel a wound, you don't really feel how deep it is.
I suppose, yeah.
Do you know what I mean? But then, like, you see his eye move and that, and you're just like, yeah, it's a bit like, ah! Like, yeah, fair one, bro. Then literally the heli came in straight away. Literally did a handbrake turn, bro. You don't see them. The Mercs are amazing. Come in straight down, took him outside, got him on the helicopter, got him away, and that was the last we've seen of him. So this is where the dynamic changed. Obviously, everything changes. Like the firefight, there was nothing coming in. There was show of force, so the fighter jets come down, they do flares, everything dispersed, and there was no like kinetic energy, that we couldn't feel anything. About an hour passed, so we still had to keep sentry on top of the building. And it was about 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning when the sunrise, and we couldn't see anything really. And when the sunrise came up, I remember being on top of the compound, and I was sat in his blood, like just black, like it was just there, like a hole. That's when it kind of creeped into me, because you're in your thoughts then for about an hour, you're on sentry, just like, what the fuck's happening? Like, you're in a position where your mate's just probably being fucking killed, and you're sat there, what you're doing, like a lot of things going to your head, trying to gather your thoughts, and then come down off the building. We had to extract, because we were running out of bombs, bullets and water. We hardly had anything left. It was like, well, we've got one ditch attempt now to get back to the compound, or we're fucked. We've got no ammo. We're going to get killed. We got ambushed on the way back, so we literally had to make a beeline. It was literally 15 soldiers in a line, one that way. Anything pops up, shoot it. Just going that way. People were popping people left, right and centre. Remember the sharpshooter just fucking killing people straight down. We were going down and made it back to the compound. About an hour and a half later, fucking traumatised, hungry, just fucked, yeah. But you don't get time to gather your thoughts, which is so important though, because if you gather your thoughts in them situations, you ain't going to get that reaction. Like a soldier is supposed to react under control, aggression and skills. That's what's so important. That's what the army gives you is that instant response to save people's lives or take people's lives. Yeah, mad story, innit?
Wow.
Mad, bro. That's only one of them, bro. Like, it's hundreds.
How long have we got?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, and then, fucking hell, that is a story.
Mate, I don't know how the fuck I'm alive. I was in that position 15 seconds before he was.
Yeah.
He 100% had me in his scopes, or the sharpshooter.
So, you know, after that event,
yeah,
how long were you in Afghanistan for?
About over 4 months. It was constant, mate. Like, people getting blown up, shot, everything, mate. Like, it was
it that tour that you came back from and you had the night terrors?
That's where it started, yeah.
I'm not fucking surprised after all.
Yeah, 100%, yeah. And it weren't just the food was shit, bro.
Yeah.
But yeah, just the mad stuff happened. Like, one of my good friends, James Ashworth, he got a VC.
What's a VC?
VC is Victoria Cross.
Okay.
It's the highest medal you can get.
Wow.
But he died on that tour. But if you look him up, guy's an absolute fucking hero. Like, what he did, like he gave up his self for anyone else getting injured. He literally posted a grenade into the enemy position, but he crawled up. He was that close to the enemy. He pulled the pin on the grenade. As the enemy were in the position behind, he's literally stood up to go and post a grenade. But as he went to post a grenade, he got shot straight in the face. And then obviously dropped the grenade and blew himself up. Do you know what I mean? But the Taliban did get killed that day. And the same person that was in that building, I'm pretty sure, was the guy who had the sharpshooter that nearly killed Dawson. So it was a bit of a happy thing, do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, you know, it came out, didn't it, that Tony Blair had unnecessarily sent people to Afghanistan.
Yeah.
What's your whole perspective on that, on the situation with war, with Afghanistan, with the Taliban? Like, looking back now at how many people were sent to Afghanistan from the UK, from the US, and the whole situation itself, like, how do you see that situation? What is your perspective on that?
My perspective I wasn't going war for Tony Blair or the Queen or anything like that at all.
Yeah.
I was going there to kill people and try and kill my demons.
Right.
Do you know what I mean? I was a soldier at the end of the day. I don't care about the person in the PM or the politician or Tony Blair or whatever.
Yeah.
The guy right and left of me, I'm saving.
Okay.
It's about your brothers and your sisters next to you. Nothing else. Like, you got to think you're a very young man. You got to think 90% of the military come from broken homes, bro. They're the best soldiers because they have nothing to lose. And they'll always be by your back. Their trustworthiness, loyalty, respect, courage, discipline, integrity is there. You give them a home, they'll fight for you. Do you know what I mean? And that's what's amazing about the army community. I've got friends now that I've knew that civilians that I've maybe 20, 30 years, like, ignore my calls and stuff. I've got friends in the military, I'll call, they're there, fix my boiler, 200 miles away. Bro, I'll come and do that. No, I don't want the money, bro. You saved my life. Chill. Do you know what I mean? It's such an amazing thing to have, which I think civilians miss out on, is that mentality.
A brotherhood.
Yeah, like, it just, my mate called me now. There's the only person I answer the phone to, no matter what I'm doing. Whatever I'm doing, bro, I'll pick up the phone to him because I know it's going to be important. Because it's not going to be gossip or bullshit. Yeah.
I think as well, you know, there's having that experience and going through all of that, you can see now, and I mean this in the nicest way possible, you don't have any tolerance for bullshit.
Absolutely not, bro. You can't come at me with a problem without thinking about a solution. I can't do it, bro.
No.
I haven't got the mentality, I haven't got the mental capacity for it because I just can't deal with it. I'll tell you straight. How I coach as well with my mindset and life coaching. People come to me for a reason because I'm straight and honest. You don't like it, fucking take your money back, piss off. Because I'm going to tell you exactly how to change your life. If you don't want to listen to it, that's fine, but hear me. There's a difference between hearing and listening.
What year was it? Was it this year that you started doing the mindset coach?
Yeah. Well, yeah. So it was December last year.
How did that all?
Took off, mate, massively. Which is mad for me, because I'm just like, I haven't even got my life together. I'm trying to change people's lives. But you have to learn how you're going through life. Because every year I'm developing, I'm getting better or I'm getting worse some days or stuff like that. I'm developing. So what I'm learning each time with interacting with people and stuff, I take it into my life and my coaching and what the situation and stuff. Everything I've fucked up on, I can teach you about how not to fuck up on. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Where you have made mistakes or failures in the past, you've obviously learned from that, but then you can avoid somebody else making that same mistake.
100%, yeah.
What was it that, I mean, you could probably guess why, but for the audience that's listening, what was it that gave you the motivation to become a mindset coach?
The trauma, bro, the trauma. We'll touch in a minute about like the suicide attempts and the lack of life people have some days. Really resonates with me. Just trying to change people's lives. Do you know what I mean? It's why I comment back to as many as possible comments I can and many messages as I can, because I know what it's like to not get that message. Because what resonates with me is when, the second time I tried to kill myself, I rang up my psychiatrist at the time, it was about 4:30, and he said, I'm finishing work, like, you're gonna have to ring 999 or 911. My psychiatrist.
What the
I was like, bro, like, I'm going to kill myself. Like, I'm in a bad way.
Oh, sorry, I'm off.
It's out of work hours. I get it. Like, you've got your own thing to deal with, but I just can't deal with that. That's why it's a job to them. It's a purpose for me.
I remember I was trying to help a lad who was addicted to ketamine, and he rang me on Christmas Day, said, I want to kill myself. I was like, what the fuck? Like, it's Christmas Day. Like, of all days, in a 12-month period, the one day that you shouldn't want to kill yourself. Well, I suppose for some people, it can be the loneliest day of the year, can't it? And I said, where are you? Like, I'll drive, I'll come get you now. Luckily, he was in the house with his mum. And I said, put your mum on the phone. And I told his mum, and his mum, like, you don't need to come, I've got it. I'll look after him. It's like Christmas, like, it's somebody's life. It's somebody's life. It's not a 9 to 5, is it?
Yeah, 100%.
But again, on the other side of that, it's very energy. It takes a lot of energy. We spoke about this before, haven't we? Like, I don't think people realise, and again, it's our choice to do it. But I don't think people realise how much of your energy you are giving to people, and how much it can take out of you. But again, it's up to us whether or not we decide to do it. So it's not like I'm moaning and complaining. I'm not. But to help people in the best way possible, it requires a lot of emotional.
Healthy boundaries as well.
Yeah. Of course you do. Yeah.
Which is hard because it debilitates you. You don't realise how hurt you are until you try and help people. Because they bring up shit, you're just like, nah, I'm not dealing with that. Like, I get trauma dumped all the time, bro. People telling me mad shit. I'm just like, it's 5 a.m, bro. I'm about to have a cup of coffee. Let me have 10 minutes.
Yeah. That's the thing, like you said, though, there is an element, or there is a massive element to having those clear boundaries. But I think when it comes to somebody's life, it's you've got to respond
Exactly.
quick.
It's turned into reaction now. So when people message me, I know exactly what to say, when to say it.
Yeah.
Listen to it or don't listen to it. It's totally up to you. I'll give people voice notes that I've never met. Like they're sending me a massive message, bam, 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 this and that, do this and that. Bro, thank you so much. Like you saved me today. Like I'm just like, no problems. Guess what I want you to do? Help someone else. Keep going. Do you know what I mean? It's an ego-driven thing. I think coaches can get, because I know a lot of them probably you do. It's all over fucking profit over purpose. I don't give a fuck. Like I'll make money somehow. I don't care how I get it. I'll make it. My kids are always going to eat about that. But if I can help people and make a stance on the mental health in this country, then that's what I'm going for.
And you can see that that's happening in abundance, mate. I think it's incredible what you're doing. Where do we go from here? What's next for you in the next 12 months, 24 months? What's next for Dave?
On stage with you, bro.
I can't wait.
Yeah, definitely, bro.
Yeah,
That's a big thing coming up. But it's changing the dynamic of how events are done, especially from suicide. Because I'd love to touch a bit about my suicide attempts, just because
please. No, I think that it will help, definitely.
There is life after thinking that way.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it's the only thing you never live to regret, is an amazing saying.
How many suicide attempts?
3.
3?
Yeah.
Talk to me about the first one.
So the first one was 2014. I was moved to a different barracks because I was angry again and kind of things like that. They left me on my own accord. I was waking up drinking, going to bed drinking. I was on metazapine, zopiclone, every medication possible. It was like 7 different medications, antipsychotic drugs, because I just get rages of war in my head. I'd literally just rip my room apart. Everyone knew about me. I was amazing in the green zone of war. Put me into a quiet environment, into my room, watching Jeremy Kyle. My room's getting ripped apart every time I used to do it. Rip my room apart, smash it up, wake up, sniffing cocaine, going to bed, taking ketamine. Do you know what I mean? And just then going out, training soldiers. Do you know what I mean? It got a repeated thing, and it was going to counselling sessions, therapy sessions, seeing psychiatrists 2-3 times a week. It just got too much for me. So what I did is I kept all my medication for about a month. I think it was about nearly 400 or 500 tablets. Kept it all, put it in a bin bag, and just got them all out one night, put them in my... they're like single man rooms. We had like our own one ensuite shower room. Literally just got them all out. Literally looking at myself in the mirror, mate, like just drunk. Do you know what I mean? And just taking these medications, crying when I'm taking it. That truly tells you that I don't want to leave. I have to get drunk to try and commit suicide. I'm crying while I'm doing it.
You wouldn't have done it in a sober mind.
Nah, not at all. It was a scream for help. And sometimes that's what it is. It can be silent, or it can be very violent, or it can be very noisy. Do you know what I mean? And I just woke up in hospital, get my stomach pumped.
Who was it that found you in that state?
I don't have a clue. I think my door was, I don't know if it was open or not. I think it was my mate Shane Blakely, actually, or someone on my floor. There's bottles just everywhere, mate. I never used to clean up. Like I used to wake up and just get cuts on put my boots on. There was like glass everywhere from broken bottles. Put my boots on, go and take the lads out for a 12-mile run, come back, get drunk, watch Jeremy Kyle, have some eggs, go to gym, come back, take cocaine, go out. Mad. And it was just that repetitive thing, take my medication, try to go sleep. Night terrors are that bad. I'd get like rigor mortis. Like as I'm going to sleep, because I was that knackered, because my head was pounding, bro, with these thoughts. I'd try to go to sleep and I'd sleep with my eyes open, and people dragging me into that pool of blood on that top of the compound constantly, me trying to scream. I don't know if you ever had it. It's like you're screaming, but no sound is coming out. You're screaming for fucking help, but no one can hear you. Like shouting for help, you're getting dragged in this blood, and you're seeing these people killed and stuff. I used to sleep underneath my bed. Fucking 24, 25 years old, sleep under my bed. I couldn't go Tesco, I couldn't go shopping, like, because it was too noisy for me. I had to try and, I'll take my medication about 12 o'clock, 1 o'clock at night, go shopping at 12 o'clock, so 2 o'clock in the morning, so no one's really there. Because even like the sound of trolleys or people knocking on more fucked me up, completely fucked me up. My central nervous system was off. Like I was great in war, bro, but I couldn't even,
civilian life.
Yeah, I couldn't comprehend it. I was still there. My heart and soul and my feelings were still in Afghan. I was here. I just wasn't present for years. And about a year or two of my life, I can't remember it, just because the medication I was on, the therapy I was going through, the drug abuse, alcohol abuse.
What was the changing point?
It slowly got worse. I think I put things in place to try and disguise it. I did my first bodybuilding comp in 2016. Still really suffering mental health. Tried to hang myself like before I did the comp. A couple of weeks later, I was on the stage, like just people don't know, trying to smile and going through that. And I just...
Do you think that was a combination of, obviously, I haven't done it, but I know a lot of people did in bodybuilding competitions, like the amount of stress you put your body under, the low food, you know, if you're taking anabolics, stuff like that. Was that a reason for it? Combined with everything else that had, you know, happened?
It could be, but the discipline set me free a little bit because I had something to live for. Because a lot of people, you always cling on to something. So people that try and commit suicide or don't go through with it, try and cling on to something.
Right.
To give them hope. It could be a cat passing by. I've got to look after that cat. I'm not going to kill myself today. Do you know what I mean? There's always something. Oh, I need to put the bins out tomorrow. It's Thursday.
Yeah.
I won't kill myself today. Because you don't want to die. You're just looking for an excuse to get out of this world and that pain. And I think that's what I was constantly looking for, an excuse, hoping someone would find me. But that second time, I was calm, bro. Do you know what I mean? I was on my medication. It was fine. I wasn't taking drink. I wasn't taking drugs. I was clean months. Just sound. I was just gone. Just like, I'm good. Just a hollow shell kind of thing. There was no feelings in me. I couldn't have conversations with people. I couldn't have eye contact.
What was, again, if you don't mind saying, how did it not happen then? When you tried to hang yourself, what was the reason?
I was just crying, bro. Just got the rope, tried to hang myself off the second floor I was on. I was going to put the rope through the window, tie it, pull it, and just go outside, just hang myself out the window. Then you think to yourself, what if someone catches you? Why? Why does it matter? You're going to kill yourself, kind of thing. And ended up driving up to the med centre in DCMH in Aldershot to go and see my psychiatrist. I need help. I couldn't get into an appointment. Went to the car park and went on the side of the car park. I think it was like a 40-foot drop. Just stood there. I was just like, I'm gone. Luckily, a police officer found me. He kind of talked me down, spoke to me in RMP, took me in there, and that's when I got sectioned for the first time. I was in the mental health hospital for a while. Trying to get myself better. I think it's the worst place you can fucking be, because you realise you're not insane, you're in pain. Kind of thing. You've got people that are literally clinically insane, running around with no clothes on and dribbling and stuff like that, and you're just sat there watching TV like, I'm all right, bro. Do you know what I mean? Trying to change that perspective. But even going through that, bro, was hard, because this is why self-care is so important. My sister, God bless her soul, she passed away when I was in that mental health hospital.
Sorry to hear that one.
Same again, my mum, she just died of like being an alcoholic. She left 2 kids behind. She was
older or younger than you?
She was younger than me. She died when she was 32, so I was 27. She was 5-6 years older than me. But she left 2 beautiful kids behind. She died with a lot of trauma, a lot of guilt, a lot of anger. Do you know what I mean? She was an alcoholic, mate. She used to go to the corner shop, get a litre of vodka, drink that, and go back home. Do you know what I mean? It was a constant thing with her. Like I used to try and come back at weekends, spend some time with her. I'd rather drink with me than try and hide it. Do you know what I mean? And that mentality. And she got took with liver failure at Watergrove Hospital. They let me out because I said, look, I can't stay here. My sister's dying. So they let me out. I had to call the police every day to tell them that I'm still at home. My stepdad had to check in, because if I went missing, they'd have to come and find me, kind of thing. Kept to my routine. Same as when she got up every morning, 6 o'clock, went to the gym, 7 o'clock, this and that. My sister always said to me, just like, keep doing what you're doing, David. I'm proud of you. Like doing it. And I kept to my routine, and I don't know whether I should or not, but my stepdad called me. He was just like, you need to come to the hospice. And yeah, she passed away when I wasn't there, but she always told me to keep to my disciplines and stuff like that. And that, fuck, man. She was just an amazing soul. She was the life of the party. Everyone knew her as being bubbly, but you just don't know the pain people go through and what they drag through life. And it was just like, I could have been that person. I could have been another one of my siblings that have passed away from fucking alcohol or drugs. And
but you're not. You're here now.
Nah, I'm good. Yeah, I'm good.
And I'm
yeah.
this from the bottom of my heart, mate. I should be so fucking proud of you.
100%. It took me a long time to fucking.
Come here, man.
Appreciate it, bro.
I should be so proud of you, mate.
You achieved some amazing things. You're doing fucking incredible.
You trying to fucking dig me?
No, honestly, man.
But it was just hard, like seeing her just, her body just like, her soul weren't there, bro, because alcohol's an evil thing. That I've been 2 years clean and sober of drugs and alcohol. Never touch it again in my kid's life. God will smite me down if I ever touch that again. Not at all. It's venom. It's poison. If you haven't got the right mentality. Do you know what I mean? If you've gone through shit and you're filling your voids with that, which she did, which I know why she did it, and she just left, like, just body was there, was just yellow. Yeah, but my sister and my mum give me so much power, bro. Yeah. And one of my videos that went freaking viral was to do with that, because I got 666 and 333 tattooed on my eyes. And they had to do with my sister and my mum, guidance and alliance. And that's what they kind of mean in angel numbers, and that's what they are, angel numbers. Nothing to do with like the it's in the biblical terms, that like the number of the beast.
Yeah.
It's nothing to do with that. Because I went to their graves.
What was the, if you don't mind, what was the pain like on your eyelids?
It weren't pain. It was just weird. It was just like, if he messes up, I'm probably blind. So it was just weird sensation.
Yeah.
It was just because every time I close my eyes, I want to remember them numbers, and they're always with me. They're guiding me. And I did a video about it, just how important life is, and using what the people that aren't here, or what people have gone through that we've connected with, that have suffered and not here anymore, to use that pain as purpose.
Yeah.
And God's got something for me, like, because he won't let me kill myself. He won't let me do anything. I'm still here. I'm still able to smile every day. I live by myself. I fucked up my last relationship. I've got 2 beautiful kids. I could go into an absolute state of, I could do, but I'm choosing not to.
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Using it.
Look where you are today.
Yeah.
And like you said, this year has been one to remember.
It's mad. It come to it, I was just like, bro, I haven't even thought about killing myself. Even thought about writing anything down, or guilt tripping myself into thinking, oh, you're doing good, right, it's time to kill yourself. Do you know what I mean? That constant thing of like, get somewhere, like, yeah, you're not good enough, mate, kill yourself. Constant, I used to get thoughts every day, bro. Like, it was hard, like holding onto the steering wheel, wanting to drive into the central aeration, drive into someone. Do you know what I mean? 2 years ago was the last suicide attempt. I was on the M6 at Junction 3. Do you know what I mean? Because the stupid shit I put myself through. Cheating, drugs, alcohol, going through that. Standing on the top of the bridge, wanting to kill myself. Do you know what I mean? A cop had to talk me down again because a picture of my son was on there. It's like, bro, like, come on. And it's just like, fuck, like, God, just please, I just want this pain to stop. Like,
But now you're using that.
Yeah.
And channeling in that. And honestly, mate, you've done incredible this year, but it's just getting started.
Oh, 100%. Like, I'm only 35, bro. Like, I want to, me, you, Mike, we need to change the perception about mental health. How to actually freaking get people out of these zones and making people accountable, which is a massive thing, bro, because people don't want to be accountable.
I know.
There's a lot of narcissists out there that say they're coaches and helping people. They use social media in different ways, and I'll spot them straight away. I'll fucking message them, bro. Like, you're a dickhead, bro. Like, I can see what you're doing, because they manipulate people into doing this and that, and getting females and getting people. Like, I just speak from emotion. I feel people, bro. Do you know what I mean? Your appearance ain't different to me. How you come across, act, feel, and interact with people, how you interact with him, how you interact with Mike, how you interact with your girlfriend, your staff, that's important to me.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? What you do behind closed doors is the real you.
Yeah.
You let that out, sometimes people do. Do you know what I mean? And that's what I try and mimic on the note. If we don't vibe, we don't vibe. Do you know what I mean? But you're good, bro.
We vibe.
We're good. We're good.
Dave, so I have a tradition on this podcast. I ask one last question. If you could go back to 15-year-old Dave, your mum has just passed away.
That's a shit time, mate. Cheers for that.
Sorry. If you could have one last conversation or say one last thing to 15-year-old Dave, what would you say?
You got it, bro.
Yeah, man.
Keep pushing, be resilient. Like, no matter what comes your way, you'll get through it. You've survived 100% at your worst days. 100%.
Dave, it's been an absolute pleasure.
Pleasure, bro.
I'm really excited to see where this is going to go. The future holds for both of us with what we're going to do together, and I think it'll impact and change many, many lives. You're an incredible human being. Don't
Ditto,
ever stop
bro.
being you.
100% same to you, brother.
Cheers, brother. Appreciate it, man.
Sound, bro.